My name's Matt Edwards, aka Radio Slave, The Machine, Rekids. I grew up in South London, and I was lucky enough to be involved in this Soho set of the early 90s of Milk Bar. I guess those are kind of my pivotal years, but I would say maybe being resident at Ministry of Sound Open All Hours, which was the night Jim Masters did. And I guess this is when, in the mid-90s, when techno was very unfashionable. So you'd hear Carl Craig playing to, let's say, 300 people in a huge room, but those nights were, really, really important to me. One of my mentors at an early age was a guy called David Durrell, who was one part of Mars with CJ McIntosh. And I was lucky enough to meet Dave when I was really young, and I used to drive him up and down the country, and I learned a lot from him. He's very much part of that old school kind of 80s London scene, the WAG, and he introduced me to a lot of music. People talk about Arthur Russell now. He introduced me to Arthur Russell when I was like 19, 20. I think I'm just happy to have the Dope Reel, the crossovers. They're a 3-band EQ, they're for DJing. If you've heard Joe Clausel, Francois, those kind of guys, they all use them. And I was really lucky a few years ago. I've got a lot of friends in Japan, and these things are made in Sapporo. And I later found out they're not easy to buy. They actually want to know who you are and that kind of thing. So I bought 2, and I use them. Sometimes I record tracks and then I put them through that, and it kind of gives this very rugged, warm sound, I would say if you're really interested in setting up a label, don't bother. No. It's very important to have someone who's there who understands the actual business side of things. Accountancy, it's very important to know where the money's going, how the money's coming in. If you want to make more records, you're going to need some money. A lot of people start out and they have all these grand ideas, but in this day and age, with the sales being so low, it was very hard to get a return. And also you have to be wary of the people that you're giving the money to and making sure you can get the money back.